January 2019, I did a little experiment with a wet end slice of wood to prevent it from splitting, because that's what happens when wood dries out, when it sheds its moisture. So I used epoxy resin and I encapsulated this end slice after skimming it on various woodworking machines that I have to get it nice and smooth and looking nice. And as I say, it was an experiment to seal in the moisture, because epoxy resin is supposed to be 100% impervious. However, I got a comment today in November 2020, I think that's 20 months later. Just to be clear, the commenter says the piece still had moisture when you applied epoxy. I've read it could take years for the wood to dry. Well, if the epoxy resin is impervious, and as I stated in the experiment, the idea is it traps the moisture in. So in theory, it's trapped in forever. But today I took a look at the slice, which I still have. It's a kind of decorative piece of woodwork. And I could see there was very, very slight deformation around the pith. It had shrunk out slightly, and that indicates that epoxy resin is flexible because there are absolutely no cracks. There's very, very slight staining, which I noticed back at the original experiment. So in a nutshell, just as I would never say never, I would question a value such as 100%, because we don't live in a world of absolutes. But I think, well, what I'll do is I'll do this test maybe if I'm still around in a couple of years' time, I'll update it. But I think the experiment was worth it. I'm slightly puzzled. I mean, why would you want the wood to dry? The whole aim of the exercise is to stop the wood splitting. Thanks for watching.